dragon come. Exquisite terror. It's liberating and delightful to know that I am not alone in Fantasyland. This is the most extraordinary collection of people I've ever seen. And you're all completely authentic and immersed in your realities, which is exactly what an actor does. So I'm with you every inch and step of the way. I want to make sure that my ladies are here. Connie Bell, are you there? And Carol LaPlante? Okay, that's my web mistress. She's divine. Let's give her a hand. She's divine. She doesn't like that. Very shy. I'm delighted to be here. I had a little bit of an upset yesterday. Mechanical problems and so forth. That's what they always say when they don't have the plane. But I made it. It's been a sort of a very unusual 2 weeks for me, to be honest. A lot of people have died. Foremost among them, my great friend, Senator Ted Kennedy. And with him goes probably the greatest statesman of our time. And I believe that this is the end of Camelot as we knew it, and certainly the end of the Great Lion. So my heart is full, albeit slightly broken, and we proceed in life and we persevere. And may the next great diplomat come forward, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, I can do questions, or I can talk about what it was like to be Captain Janeway. And I can tell you that my decade, as I was saying to Connie in the room earlier, that decade of my life, which was 7, and I really count them, 7.5 years of Voyager, and 3 years of doing a one-woman show on the road, marked for me the hardest work of my life. I doubt that I will ever surpass in depth, magnitude, or sheer effort the work that I put in those 10 years. And certainly Janeway, because what I'm sure that you understand so well is, quite aside from being was I the third captain or the fourth? Well, you're counting DS9. Oh no, but it was a space station, ship fly. I'm not going to get into that. But I was the first girl, right? And so you have to understand, being the first girl, what attendant in that duty was this great sense of privilege, of terror, of a new frontier, which I know is the mantra of Star Trek anyway. But you try it out. You try to go on that bridge that first day, having known that the wonderful, divine Jean-Pierre Peugeot had abandoned ship in 24 hours. Because as she said to the producers, I don't know what you're talking about, this is impossible. Who can work this hard as 18 hours? Engage. How about au revoir? And off she went, leaving it open for me, and I walked in thinking, this is going to be great. It's going to be a cinch. Me and a lot of men, just the way I've always liked it, right? Guess again. They handed me 30 pages of what was absolute Greek. No, Greek is easier. Chinese characters were on this page. That's called technobabble. And I had to not only learn it, but I had to assimilate and own. And I had 2 days to do it. Impossible. Resistance is futile. No. I only say that under certain circumstances. This is going to be a bad day, a bad crowd, and I'm in one of those moods. No, you don't want to get me naughty. No. It never ends. But I did, over time in the first season, I think, when I finally threw away that sort of metal bra corset that they had me in, the 83rd hairdo that I told them to forget, right? And I went to Rick Berman, whom I adore. And I said, do you really think your audience is stupid? These are trekkers, the smartest audience in the world. They know that you're fooling around with me too much because you're nervous about me being abroad. Why don't you let them worry about that? And they'll figure out whether I can lead or not if you leave me to my own devices. So he looked at me, you know, they were shaking in their boots. What do you mean? We're not going to fool around with her hair. We're not going to fool around with her bosom. We're going to do it, right? And they let me alone. And within 2 seasons, indeed, the entire demographic had shifted and broadened and deepened. So you see, the audience always knows best. And you are the greatest audience in the world. The greatest, the most loyal, and without question, the most intelligent. And I've learned that because if you love Star Trek and you love science fiction, you love science. If you love science, you are above the norm. It is the grasp of an ideal, it is the exercise of a component of the imagination that only Einstein, Feynman, only those guys understood. It is a different way of thinking, and it is an exalted way of thinking. So, I knew who I was playing to, and I felt that I should have to really earn my stripes the right way. So I gave what I did over 7 years. I think I gave the most that I could give you, the best that I could give you. Certainly, I tried.